Alright, got a little bit to talk about. Mostly silver, gold related. But I'm going to start out by giving you a headline. Ex-FedEx employee goes back to the place he used to work before being let go and shot up the place and then turned the gun on himself and killed himself. Man, if I had a silver coin for every one of these stories that I've done over the last couple of years, man, I'd have quite a bit of silver. Incredible. So how's that, let me ask you again for the 1000th time, how's that economic recovery working? Pretty good, huh? Those kind of things happen all the time when the economy's booming, don't they? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. Where do I start? I'll go ahead and start with something Bix Weir wrote today. As expected, J.P. Morgan continues to, quote, sit on silver, while all the MF global investors are locked out. Remember, I've been telling you this the last several times in my videos. MF global investors, you thought you had a contract, you thought you were going to demand delivery, you thought you even had the cash in the account. Wrong, 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 and wrong. We're still investigating. You don't do anything. And this is actually going to tie into the other story I'm fixing to do on JP Morgan. So JP Morgan continues to sit on silver while all the MF global investors are locked out. Physical silver is a screaming buy at these prices, and you should be loading up the boat, the wagon, and your pockets with that shiny metal. And just so you know, silver, as of this speech I'm giving you, is down $2.32. Of course, gold is down pretty significantly also. The market itself, in general, all markets, etc., are down. Banks, everything. And I'm just thinking back, the most thumbs down I ever received in my whole YouTube career of doing these kind of videos was when I told everybody, not only did I sell some of my silver due to the announcement by the CME group on that late Friday night, which then got turned around. We didn't mean that. We didn't mean that. We meant we're going to lower the initial margin. Oh, okay, so there's no doom on Monday markets. I sold my silver before that announcement came out. Oh, nice. But after analyzing the other data, what did I do Monday morning? Guys, I could run right back and go buy the Silver Eagles. I wanted to get rid of the Indian heads anyways and get Silver Eagles. I want strictly Silver Eagles. But I got a sneaky suspicion, and here's what I had to say at the time. You know, I rattled off a few reasons why. Namely, the European debt crisis and economic crisis, basically, and MF Global, and said I'm going to sit on the sidelines because I think there's going to be a pretty downward push on gold and silver, because as the market goes down, paper traded assets such as gold and silver, those are commodities. They are traded on Wall Street. The price is set daily on Wall Street. You can expect those things to go down with the sinking ship market as well. So here we are today. We are down $2.32. All those people who gave me thumbs down, all those people who told me that was the worst advice I ever gave, and I mentioned all these people that kind of came out of the woodwork. I don't even recall ever seeing this bozo commenting on any of my other videos. Where did he come from? Who, or he or she? Where did they come from? Huh, don't know, but they come out of the woodwork. Isn't that amazing? And isn't it amazing that Thursday, today, the 17th of November, 2011, as I said a couple weeks ago when I liquidated some of my silver, I'm not getting back in the market. It's going to go down. Here's the reason why I think it's going to go down, and this is also why I'm staying on the sidelines. I also told you the more important dates to look for. We're only at Thursday, and it's going down pretty good. We're not even at options expiration yet next week, Monday and Tuesday, for God's sakes. We could easily be right back into the 20s, high 20s, mid 20s, somewhere in the 20s. I also noticed the CME group released some information on the strike price of silver, updated, and their strike price, at least the part that I read, was $25 silver. That doesn't mean automatically silver is going to $25, by the way, and that is extended, I think, for the December 5th time frame, I believe. If my memory serves me correct. I read that this morning. But If we're at $30-something silver and they've got a strike price in there right now for $25 silver, and I know it's based on previous month's data and things like that, but still, I think I know where silver and gold is going, and they're both going down. Does that mean you should start selling out like crazy? No. Just be prepared to buy more. I told you I wasn't going to go back in the market. See, when I sold, silver was like $34 and some change. I don't know the exact change part, but it was 34 and some change. I got back exactly $1 under spot price for these old Indian head, whatever they were, Buffalo Indian heads. So I basically got $33 and some change for the silver I sold. But of course, if you want to buy a Silver Eagle, you're going to spend $3 to $4 over spot price to get them. So if spot price was $34, I got back $33, basically, you follow me? Plus another $3 to $4, well, it cost me more to get those Eagles than the amount of silver I just sold, you know, 1 for 1 coin anyways. But at the same time, I'm getting Eagles back, not a regular old coin. They do have a premium. But I thought to myself, I'm going to play this so that the money I spent, or got back, $33 and some change an ounce, I'm going to turn that into Silver Eagles. So that would mean I would need probably $28, $29, somewhere around there, spot price to go ahead and pull the trigger on that. And I'll get the Silver Eagles, which have the higher premium. I'll be way ahead of the game, as I said was my plan. I also told you I would keep you up to date when I do these things. So for all of the haters, all of the commenters, I think I might go back to those videos. Matter of fact, I think I might. And find up, negative comment, negative comment, negative comment. Again, all bozos I've never really met. Negative comment, negative comment. Yeah, listen, have you seen the market today, bozo? Next person. Have you seen the market today, bozo? Just a week and a half later since I did this. How about you, bozo? There are people who know what the hell they're talking about, like me, like Pastor Dowell, SGT Bull, these guys are good. Gerald Celente even though he didn't tell us he was playing the paper game, he still is calling the shots properly. We understand the fundamentals, the real fundamentals, not the fundamentals you might hear about on TV or on some message board. The true driving factor, gold and silver, as well as the news that I'm telling you about that's going to push it down. I'm all for silver going up. That's why I'm telling everyone to buy it. But when it goes down, I'm not going to keep my mouth shut because, oh, I'm a silver bull. I'm just going to, down, you know, oh, stay away, downward prices. I got to shut up and go away on YouTube. No, I continue bringing you the news. I continue bringing the information that you need to know. Why do you think it's going to go down, Joe? Why do you think this just happened? What do you think? Here's what I think. And by God, oh, pure coincidence, of course, old J Snip 4 is right again. The market's going down. I thought it would go down to X, Y, Z, and 1, 2, 3 reasons. Every single one of them spot on reasons pushing the freaking market down. For those of you haters, step into my office. Why? Because you're freaking fired, that's why. Go hate on somebody else because you just got punched in the mouth with realist news. Now let me continue what I came here to do. From Big Swear, the metal silver is screaming, buy me right now. I'm not saying that they can't force the price even further down, but anything under $30, you won't be able to get your hands on any physical, so waiting them out might not pay off. And he did say might not. But he did say under $30, you won't be able to get any. Well, I'm not going to say that. You will be able to get them, but you got to be quick. And how low are they fixing to push it? We're fixing to find out. And I'm still on the sidelines. And I still don't even know if I'm going to go at $28 and $29 silver and buy those Silver Eagles. What if we get down to 24? What if we get back down to 20? And then we have the big crash. Markets tank. Europe, EU, etc. is tanking. Everything's going down. Holy crap. All in preparation for the 60 days from now, roughly, when we get to the position limits put in place. And they allow the bankers and their friends to clean house on the commodities and market, thus destroying them in preparation for the position limit rule, at least the first part of the position limit rule for the spot month, to take effect so that they can then ride the price of silver and gold back up to new highs. You don't think that these CME Group, the CFTC, you know, the regulators, they're not in bed with the older guys, considering, you know, Jill Sommers and Gary, the turd burglar, Gensler, he was at Goldman Sachs, and I think she had something to do with JP Morgan, or maybe it was Goldman Sachs also, in a past life. You don't think that the chances of these two people being regulators at the top in the commission, they would do these things so that JP Morgan and friends and Goldman Sachs can get out of their positions, destroy the market, and then sit on the real physical gold and silver that the investors thought that they owned, but something like MF Global happens, and hey, you only thought you owned that, here's your money back. When JP Morgan and friends actually have your gold and silver. But if you want to get it, you now have to get back in the market after the investigation's done, after the money's been given back to you, which is months from now, after gold and silver have gone skyrocketing. Now go ahead and take your money and get back in the market. No, I want my contract from December when silver was 30 bucks. Oh, you do? Yeah, no. Sorry, ain't happening. So, he says, with the current silver to gold ratio at 54-1, you should be running down to your local coin shop with your gold coins or bars and flipping those into silver. Let's see. Do you know anybody on YouTube, first name J, last name, part of that name, 4, rhymes with JSnip4, who told you, get rid of all your gold and dump it into silver? Because it is going to absolutely, silver is going to absolutely, positively outperform gold. It's going to go higher than gold? No, didn't say that. It will outperform gold. $1,000 worth of silver, $1,000 worth of gold. When you see the rising that takes place soon after the destruction of silver, you will then understand what I'm talking about. $1,000 in silver will turn a lot more money than $1,000 in gold will. Although you will be happy with what gold does, you won't be near as happy compared to what silver does. He says, here is some of the near-term events that will bring silver to the forefront. Number 1, the CFTC is about to define the word swap. And when they do that, that's when the 60-day countdown for the position limits will take effect. And that was supposed to already happen the 1st of November. Now we're looking at 8th, 10th, somewhere in November. Still hasn't happened yet. It's a simple definition of a freaking word known as swap or swaps. Financially speaking. You need a month plus now to define the word swap. It can only mean what it's always meant in the financial world for the most part. So again, we'll drag that out. We've got an investigation. We'll drag the investigation out until they have to come out with the answer. Yes, we found corruption. Yes, it was with JP Morgan. Oh my God. But by then, the market will have already crashed. JP Morgan and friends will have already snagged up all the gold and silver. And then everyone else is going to want to get in based off of that news. And that's probably going to run the price up. And that's when you and I both better be into silver heavy duty. So, that's done with that. Now here's something interesting from today. JP Morgan has made a massive adjustment of physical silver into its registered vaults, moving over 1 million ounces from the eligible vaults into the registered vaults overnight. What the hell does that mean, JSnip4? Well, let me read this to you first, and I'll explain it. For those inquiring as to the significance of an inventory adjustment from eligible to registered vaults, please see this explanation, which I'll give you this easy explanation of that. Comic Silver Inventory Update. Brinks, whatever, they don't need to read that. JP Morgan adjusted 1.103280 ounces out of eligible vaults and into registered vaults. JP Morgan's registered inventories tripled from 557,000 ounces to 1.6 million ounces on Tuesday. Is the JP Morg preparing for substantial delivery demands for December? Possibly so. Even though they stomped out a boatload of those same paper investors who were on standby ready to call their delivery contracts, demand delivery on them, such as Gerald Celente and others, who got stomped out by the MF Global crisis, which was just completely coincidentally timed perfectly for that to happen, wasn't it? That doesn't even include them. But if you do exclude them, you will be able to put out the fires, so to speak, with the gold and silver that they were going to claim that they no longer can claim because there's an investigation and we're still trying to figure out how and where we're going to get the money from to pay these investors back that had contracts with MF Global. But in the meantime, JP Morgan will raid those places of the silver that they got or that they can get, and then put out the fires, the deliveries that they have coming now for December. And they already know probably roughly who's going to be calling for those deliveries. Therefore, they can tell in advance since they own the CME, the CFTC, and again, the CME is the COMEX, basically. So anything that's getting done on the COMEX, the CME group knows about. And again, that's tied to JP Morgan, so JP Morgan knows exactly what's going on, who's buying what. JP Morgan is also the bank that handles APMEX, the dealer, their account. They use JP Morgan as a bank. That's who they use. So any kind of input and output going into that bank account, JP Morgan has a very good idea of what is being sold on the marketplace simply by looking at that customer account, which happens to be APMEX. Just want to throw that in there. The similarity between the 1.1 million ounce adjustment into registered vaults by JP Morgan and the 1.4 million ounces of registered silver that remain not eligible for delivery due to the MF Global fiasco is certainly striking, isn't it? Perhaps JP Morgan is moving to prevent a COMEX default due to the 1.4 million ounces of registered physical silver being unavailable for delivery. And old Blythe Masters, JP Morgan chick, is receiving massive amounts of notices of intent to stand for delivery as everyone realizes they do not want to end up like Gerald Celente saying, where's my account? Where's the money that was in my account? And where in the hell is the gold or silver I was fixing to demand delivery on? You lose, you lose, you lose, you lose. We don't know. Stand in line, we're going to investigate. Right? So now people are starting to catch on. Even the traders who know, man, you can make a killing playing the paper game if you can just play it right. If you really know what you're doing. I can't go get physical. It's just too easy to make money. And then they hear this story. MF Global bankrupt overnight out of nowhere. Took down 150,000 traders with them. As one of them being Gerald Celente. Oh my God. That could be me. Huh. Oh shoot. I've been making enough money right now. I'm going to pull my account out. Give me the cash out of the account. I'm going to go buy physical silver and gold. I don't feel comfortable because this might happen to me. Then what happens? You have a freaking stampede. Excuse me. Into the real physical precious metals market. This is the kind of thing I've been talking about taking place. You're going to have these kind of things that wake people up, just like a bank run. Hey, that big bank's insolvent? People can't get their money out today? No, they're closing the doors. Oh my God. My little bank must be insolvent too. Huh? And then you have a bank run. That's what happened in the 1920s, late 1920s. Stock market crash. Bank run. Orchestrated by JP Morgan again, of course. But the history is there to show you what happens when people see something taking place. Oh my God. I know that, but I don't deal with that company. But hey, that was a reputable company. The ex-CEO of Goldman Sachs, giant Goldman Sachs, was running it. And they just went bankrupt overnight. Oh my God. I can't trust any of these guys. I want out. I don't feel comfortable. I want out. That's what we're looking at. Again, this is absolutely, positively, 100% fantastic news for the future prices of gold and silver. Future prices meaning after the whole damn thing collapses, after the COMEX basically defaults, collapses, they stop trading, they do something, and I don't care if it's because of a terrorist attack or a big giant earthquake and we got to stop trading and whatever news they ever come up with whenever this damn thing happens, don't buy it. It's not the reason why. They just had to stop them things from being taking place on these exchanges. We can't allow these people to demand delivery anymore. How are we going to do that? Well, we could change the rules mid-game and tell everybody you can still play the game, but you're no longer allowed to demand delivery. That's one way of doing it, and they wouldn't have to default. Another way of doing it, of course, would be, holy crap, we ran out of silver, default, here's your money back. Have a nice day. So rather than do that, you would think they would choose option 1. Let's rewrite the rules mid-game, because that's what we're best at when we're the elite. We just change the rules right in mid-game. We create a rigged game from the beginning. It favors us the whole time. Most people can never ever win the game except for us. And when the people finally start catching on and start winning for once, we change the rules mid-game and tell them you can no longer demand delivery. They came out with a new product from the CME group. It was a gold product. I did a video about this about a month ago, and it was, you can play, it's a instead of a 100-ounce gold contract, which is the standard full-size contract, futures contract for gold, 100 ounces. They decided to come out with, I think it was a 10-ounce contract. I believe it was 10 ounce. And you can play the 10-ounce contract the same way you can play the other ones. Except this particular 10-ounce contract, you can only play paper. You can never demand delivery. So you can only speculate on the price where you think silver is going, or gold, excuse me, is going. And that's it. You can never demand delivery. Now, why would they come out with that all of a sudden? You don't think they'll end up doing that to all the big contracts, do you? Hey, it could happen. So what does that mean when they take physical silver, put it into the registered vault from the eligible vault? The eligible vault would be like someone who's got a bunch of silver and they want to keep it safe somewhere where they can trust because they've got so much of it, gold or silver. And, well, let's use old CME Group or JP Morgan or whoever. Let's use JP Morgan's vaults, as a matter of fact. We like JP Morgan. And I've got 1 million ounces of silver. I'm Mr. Rich Guy. I've got 1 million ounces of silver. I don't want to store that in my house. I'm going to use the services of JP Morgan. They will handle that for me, and it'll be in their vaults. That is eligible silver. They cannot take my silver and put it out on the exchange in case someone wants to demand delivery, and then say, oh, we'll just use Joe's silver. Can't do it. That's why it's in the eligible vault. JP Morgan has taken silver from the eligible vault, the one you're not supposed to, and put it into the registered vault. The registered vault is all silver, on standby, ready to go if anybody demands delivery. Ready to go. So what they might have done is leased the gold, or excuse me, in this case silver, leased it from the eligible vault guy or whoever, multiple people, whatever it is, temporarily, put it in the registered vault so we can put out these fires coming in December for all these people demanding delivery, and then we'll slowly buy back into the market to replenish that silver we kind of borrowed from the eligible vault. Why would they need to go to the eligible vault to begin with? Why would they ever have to do that if they have, according to the stats right now, around 32 million ounces on standby ready to go on the registered vault? Why would JP Morgan need to take from the eligible vault and put it on the registered vault? They have, again, it's their numbers. We can only go by their reports. And we all know they cook their books and the reports are fake. But they claim they've got 32 million roughly ounces of silver registered vault ready to go for anyone that demands delivery. We got plenty. But why are you taking it from the vault you're not supposed to take from, or even lease from? If you're leasing it, why would you even lease it? Why would you do that when you already have your 32 million ounces on standby? There's not going to be 32 million ounces of silver being demanded. Maybe they don't have 32 million ounces of silver. Boy, that sounds about right, doesn't it? What else do I got here? What else do I have here? This is something out of Europe. The European Financial Stability Facility, you know, the little bailout fund they've got going on over there, the EFSF, last week announced it had successfully sold $3 billion in 10-year bonds in support of Ireland. However, the Sunday Telegraph can reveal that target was only met after the EFSF resorted to buying up several hundred million euros worth of those bonds. The ESFS put bonds out to sell, couldn't sell them all, but they can have market doom, so they bought their own bonds. This is the same thing the Federal Reserve has been doing for a long time now, especially in recent times, heavy duty, now that China has backed away, now that Japan has backed away from that trough, the treasury trough, bonds. Well, we can't put an auction out there and then have nobody buy. What would happen to the world's markets if we had a failed auction of any country's bonds? European, Western world, United States, the whole 9 yards. Big bond auction, and we can't sell them all. You would have market confidence plummet, get destroyed immediately. So what do? They buy their own freaking bonds. So you would have to ask yourself, where are they getting the money to buy their own bonds to begin with? Doesn't make sense. That's like me somehow creating money out of thin air, and in exchanging that money for these little pieces of paper called bonds that have the same value as the money that I just created, and I go out down my street, who wants these bonds? I'll pay you interest on these bonds if you buy them. And I only get some people, and I got a bunch of bonds left over. But I got to make sure the neighborhood knows that we're solid. We need to sell every bond every time we have an auction. We need to make the illusion that everybody wants our bonds. We are good. We are good for it. They're strong. Strong hands. But no one bought the bonds these times for like the last year. What do? Oh, I'll just print more money because I'm the money printer. Remember, I just made it up. And I'll buy my own bonds. But I'm not going to tell the people that I've been doing this. But if the people were smart enough to look into the public data that everyone can see, you would already see that I, Joe, the money creator, printing the bonds, selling the bonds or auctioning them, is actually buying the ones that no one else wants. Because I have to sell a certain amount every month, or else the country or my neighborhood goes broke and is bankrupt. So I will just print money and then buy the bonds back with the money I just printed. That's what the EFSF fund has just done. But that fund had funds in it. Did they use those funds to do this, or did they get a loan from somewhere to do this? I don't know. This is just how absurd this whole damn thing is. And then you walk out in the streets, you go to the store, you drive down the street, you're shopping, you're looking around. If you just did those actions today, or 8 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever, economic booming, everything's great, you wouldn't see a thing change. Yeah, of course, prices have gone way up, but aside from that, just looking around at the society around you, basically, everyone's walking, no one seems upset, they're buying stuff off the shelf, this guy's filling up his gas tank, this guy's over here buying a new car. Man, I don't see anything different. Yet, this catastrophic weapon of financial weapon of mass destruction is taking place and has been taking place for the last couple of years. It's a slow kill weapon, by the way, but it is happening and taking place nonetheless. And you go out and talk to people and they don't even know or recognize that it's happening, or if they do, they just barely know about it. Yeah, and I heard the recovery thing, it's a little slow, but we'll get there. What about the dollar? You worry about the dollar? Nah, US dollar? No, man, it's the world's reserve currency. It's solid. Okay. You could have got the same answer 5 years ago, you'll still get it today. Now, one difference today is that not quite as many people will be on that same page they were 5 years ago. You will talk to people and they will recognize, yeah, I don't know about that dollar, man, I'm getting a little nervous. And you're a little shocked to hear, hey, that's good news, someone's woken up. But then you go talk to 3 or 4 people next to them, they don't have a damn clue. Oh, no, our dollar's fine. Strong economy, we'll bounce back. We always do, we'll bounce back. I wonder if every other country that was a superpower in the history of the world thought the same thing. The people of that country, of that time, the biggest, most prosperous country, superpower of the world, many have come and gone, and all the people you know would agree, our country is fine, everybody wants our money, everybody wants our services, we are that deal. We are that dude. Countries envy us, city-states want to be us, right? Wrong. And we're all about to find out just how wrong that philosophy is. Unless you're one of the people who've been stocking up on food and silver. Or gold. It'll do the trick too. I hope you've enjoyed this midday session with your host, JSnip4. Keep stacking silver. Be prepared to put more on a credit card in the very near future if the prices get destroyed. This will probably be the final Hail Mary of all. Big pushes down before the big one hits, and then boom, we go back up. You will be seeing the $20 day moves the webbot spoke about. $5 day moves will be coming soon before that. Again, trust me, I just can't tell you specifically how soon it's going to happen because I just don't know, 100%. I just don't know. If this takes a whole year from now to take place, for the big crash to happen, basically, all it is a blessing in disguise for you, those of you who have been struggling to get money to get silver. It gives you a whole entire year to keep stacking, keep stacking, keep stacking. What if they can keep silver $20-something, $30-something, $20-something, $30-something, and it's bouncing around all over the place for a year to come? Man, do you know how much silver you could stack up on in a year's time if you keep buying every week, every month, whatever, and if the collapse doesn't happen soon? You have to be prepared that if the big collapse happens soon and the prices hit rock bottom, they're only going to go back up shortly after that, big time. So you'd have to capitalize on that small time window of time to capitalize on that low price. Could we see $10 silver in the near future? Due to the amount of paper contracts, and the paper dictates the price of the goods, silver and gold included. Not only yes, but hell yes you could. It could happen any day. It could literally happen any day, any week, any month from now, due to the things that are the pressure behind that movement. So, again, I can't give you specific times because I don't know. If I did, of course, I'd let you know immediately. So all you can do is be on standby, credit card in hand, whatever it's going to take for you to pull the trigger when the big push down takes place. So, that's all I got for you. Take care. I gotta run.